but you don't look sick. This is society's misconception of people with disabilities. Being a single mom with disabilities was very hard to manage. You didn't get to experience motherhood like other mothers did. Today I'm going to talk to you about my struggle with being a single mother with disabilities. In 2010, I was rushed to the ER thinking that I was having a heart attack. I had been in and out of the hospital many times before, but this time it was different. I was diagnosed with idiopathic pulmonary hypertension and right heart failure, actually severe right heart failure. They called these invisible illnesses because they were things that you could not see on the outside, but it was all internal. It was really hard for me to be in there. I was in there for 2 weeks, and this was when the swine flu epidemic was happening. I didn't get to see many friends and family, and I mostly could not see my son. He was not allowed in ICU, and this was very hard for me. We went through a lot of medication of trial and errors, and we finally found a treatment that worked for me. I was able to be out of the hospital, but we had to still see many doctors. I had doctors who wanted to drug test me because they thought that the reason I had idiopathic pulmonary hypertension was because I was some drug addict, and that's just not the way it was. After these medications were given to me, I was finally able to breathe a little bit more, but I could not live a normal life. I had to quit every job I ever had after that, being diagnosed, because I could not, every time I would get a new job, I would get sick and I'd have to stop. My motherhood, me being a mother, was very hard because I wasn't able to play with my son. I wasn't able to hold him anymore. I don't even remember the last time I was able to hold him. I was unable to push him. I was unable to go to the park alone. Every time we went to the park, we always had to have someone with us because if he was to run, who was going to grab him? Because I couldn't. So I was pretty much a sideline mom. I sat there and watched other moms play with their kid and my kid. In 2016, I had asked my doctor to finally put me on a medication, and it was an IV medication that would be in my body, 24/7 pumping medication. After many fights with the insurance company, we finally got this approved. I would have it in my body, in my chest, for 24 hours, 7 days a week, and you could never turn it off. It was hard teaching my son, who was probably 9 or 10 at the time, to mix medications if there was a reason why I could not do it. Or if we had an emergency and he needed to call 911, that he needed to be specific to tell the paramedics that my mom cannot stop this medicine, else she will die if it is stopped. I needed a change of scenery. There was just way too much memory of bad things going on when I lived in Ventura, California. So me and my son packed up and we moved to San Jose, California. I got a job and I really liked my job, but eventually I had to quit because I was becoming very sick. I started going to Stanford and seeing the doctors there, and they were great, but my body was declining. My heart was getting worse. We had put me on 24/7 oxygen now at this point, and I was still declining. I was in and out of Stanford many times in the ICU, in the regular floors, and finally we had talked about being put on ECMO. Very scary. It is a machine that your blood gets transferred through a machine and puts back into your body to let your organs rest. That they wanted to do this until I was put on the transplant list. In April 2020, I was finally put on the transplant list. After that, we still talked about ECMO and waiting in the hospital till I received a donor. I refused to do that. I wanted to be home with my son. And it was during COVID, so this was even harder. So finally, July 31st, at 4:30 in the morning, I received my call for my heart and lungs. It was very emotional. I did not know what to feel. I had no idea what to expect. I was just very scared. Finally, after it was all said and done, I was able to breathe again. I am able to breathe again. I'm able to walk with my son, fight with my son, be able to wrestle with him. But I have my ups and downs. I do have diabetes now due to medication. I do have stomach issues because when they do surgery, things are being touched that don't get touched and then ruin. Those are called, oh my goodness, I forget what they're called, excuse me. But I have turned in one illness for another illness, but I'll take these illnesses over not being able to breathe or be in bed 24/7 over anything. I just want to say thank you for listening to my story, and that today I talked about me having struggles with being a single mom and being disabled. And I've learned that you cannot think that your journey has to be like everybody else's. I had to put my life on hold, and I thought that I was going to have everything under control and I was going to be this careered woman with a home, and I was not that. I had to learn that everybody's journey is different. Everybody's journey is special. If you're 40 years old trying to make a career now, that's okay. That's what the universe wanted for you, and you finally got there. Take pride. Give yourself credit, because journeys are so different. And when you see someone who is doing something that seems odd or different, remember there's invisible illnesses out there. And like me, I did not know that. But there are so many people with so many different types of disabilities that sometimes they're invisible. So give that person a smile. Give anybody a smile. You never know what they're going through. Again, but you don't look sick. Society's misconception of people with disabilities, and I'm the proof of that. Thank you. Bye.